everyone, and welcome to another fabulous Friday with the Couch Potato Queens. My name is Sam Meyer. I am your host, Detroit comedian extraordinaire. I am joined, of course, by resident short king Alec Albright. Alec, how are you doing tonight?
I am feeling all the emotions. I am revved up to talk about this tonight.
It was a phenomenal musical. I am so thrilled that it went well. I was a little worried. Hello, Madame Caliente. We are going into episode 13 with 7 queens. Think about this next week. Would have been 10 weeks since June was eliminated. Seriously.
Wow.
It's wild. But you know what? I don't care. Give me more time with the queens. I would rather have a super long season than 2 really short seasons. You know, I'm like, this gives the queens more time to be on the show. Like, why are we complaining about more drag race? You know,
I'm not complaining. It's just notable.
It is notable. It is notable. This is like going to be 2 full season 8s in one season.
It's insane.
It is a little insane.
We have to acknowledge that.
We can acknowledge it.
Yeah.
We can acknowledge that it is a very long season. And yes, there is that feeling of, oh my God, nobody's going home. But all in all, I'm pretty happy. I wish there maybe was a little bit of a punchier group of girls. I think like last season we would have seen maybe some more drama.
I mean, this could have happened on season 8 or some of the legendary seasons, great.
Yeah.
I'm not mad it's happening now.
I'm not mad it's happening now. But as we've said, this is not, necessarily our favorite cast that we've ever seen. But this was a phenomenal musical. One of my favorites. Really, really excellent. Can't wait to get into it. But before we do that, folks, please remember to follow the Couch Potato Queens on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and also subscribe to this channel, like this video. It helps us so much. Thank you for doing it. I can be done with that now, thank God. So we get into the app. And the first major event of the episode is Camden versus Bosco. They both want the part of Saltine, and they take it to a vote.
I'm actually just realizing this now. We didn't have a mini challenge this episode.
No
mini challenge. Yeah, we go right into this is happening, and what do you want your parts to be?
Yeah. Hello, Adrian. If Ru doesn't send at least 2 queens home on April Fool's Day, help us all. You know what? I don't know if we need it though. I'm fine. Just let us like slowly descend into the end of the season. Hello, Sophie. Dolores, so glad you enjoyed the episode. Yes, Sophie, we are independent boys. We are doing this. We've been left on our own again for a week. Adrian, really, I thought these couple of girls we have left is good. They're pretty good.
They're all good. There's a few that have moments that are standout, but like, I don't know. This can go anyway. At this point, there's no one that you're like clear is taking the cake on this.
Yeah, and there is something that is exciting about a season that's so neck and neck, you know, where you don't have these standout stars along the way, and it does really rely on like that, like, ooh, week to week sort of feeling.
Absolutely. But I did mention earlier, and at some point I do need to have my little tangent moment.
Your tangent moment?
Yes, my tangent moment.
About? Oh, your least favorite look. Yeah.
Well, not even just that. Just as a whole, the competitor of
Deja Skye. We will talk about my dream girl. Dia was funny this episode, and Bosco was the villain for sure.
Okay.
Before we get into anything else, also they got into these. Oh yeah, so this this Camden versus Bosco.
Yep.
They take it to a vote. Willow gets put in that tough position.
Poor Willow.
I loved her line, like, I chose Bosco because I thought Lady Camden would take it better. Like, it was tense.
I mean, there was a couple of moments of, people coming in hot, even Deja coming in hot, but like no one wanted her part. So luckily enough, but she would have fought if someone wanted her part. We had Angeria.
She was ready to fight.
Angeria and Georges wanting each other's parts. This was like the first time we've really seen so many people like I want this part and this has to be my part. But at the end of the day, people folded and it was Camden and Bosco. That was the big fight.
What was really funny to me was how people went into the parts like, this is my part, and like, if anyone else wants it, you can fight me for it. Like, everyone did that, and people were like, great, that's your part. Like,
no one else wants it.
No one else wants it. Everyone sort of got the part that they wanted.
Yeah.
Also, glad to see an April 6th filming date for that finale in Vegas.
Okay.
Probably going to plug the RuPaul review while they're there as well.
Are they filming the finale at the Flamingo now?
Maybe, potentially. It would be interesting and fun. Cool venue. So we get... I just want to hop into... Ru's vinyl look. It was polarizing. Yeah, we talked about Camden and Bosco, like...
A little bit,
but like, I don't know what else is there to say.
Yeah,
they fought.
You send it, I follow.
They fought, like, I mean, like,
but the fact of the matter, there was a little more in the fact that normally, like, something like that would be led to a coin toss or rock paper scissors normally. And Bosco proposes the idea of doing a group vote.
Yeah, I mean, it had all. Here's the thing, though, is that when we saw this last season, it was Rosé versus Denali, and they took it to an audition. Which I mean, we didn't, which I loved.
I loved that.
Let the best queen get the part. I certainly didn't mind a vote. I thought it was cute. I thought it was fun. I think it made sense to me.
Yeah, and I think it's the most democratic way to go about it. But also, there's the benefit of, like, with a coin toss, right? Whoever loses is like, well, I can't blame any particular person about this. With a group vote, like, that adds some drama into the mix. Didn't really pay off in the end. I was hoping it would.
They were pushing these queens for drama. They are trying so hard, and they're all so nice. Except Daya, but she doesn't have anyone to fight with anymore.
No, but I did like the idea of having the group vote on it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, let's see what everyone else thinks is going to come here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up because it was a different, like the audition, a different way to go about it.
Yeah, certainly a different approach. So now we get into Ru's vinyl look, which is wild to me because this look was so different for Ru. The hair, the body, I was a little weird with the hips, but also it was like a very like structural kind of thing.
It had shape, right?
So like, I got it.
Yeah.
But yes, Madame Caliente 100% agreed. We need some bitch. I'm from Chicago. We're missing it. And that's why I loved Candy, and y'all dogged my girl Candy. But she brought the drama last season.
Indeed.
And Tanisha as well.
That's very true.
And this cast is boring. They're afraid to be hated.
Well, that's most casts nowadays.
Yeah, it is.
It's rare to get a Candy nowadays. But anyways, getting into this Ru look, as we were. Yeah, I also didn't love the hips, but you can't deny the fact that it gave the look shape. I think the big, like, whoa, this is kind of a different look from Ru thing for me was the wig. Was the real standout, like, different thing for me. I've never seen Ru in a wig like that.
And, like, more of, like, a slicked sort of look.
Almost, like, Elvis-y with the, like, little front curl, but mullety in the back.
And it was a little edgy for Ru as well, is what I would call the look.
Every once in a while, we get an edgy look. And they stick out. They stick out. In this, I would put in the category of sticking out.
It was her album cover.
Okay.
How interesting.
Good to know.
Thank you for that hot tip, Madame Caliente.
It was a fun look.
It was
notable, right? Like,
totally.
You have to notice when you get something different from Ru, and this was one of those moments.
Absolutely. So now I want to get into, we're going to go in the order of the Mirror runway. We're going to talk about their look. We're going to talk about their performance in the challenge. And then we're going to give them a fry rating, from small fry being like, ugh, to large fry, even a super size if we really love it. Y'all know how this goes. We start with Lady Camden. She has that nice, sparkly space age look with that like hoe down in Whoville sort of headpiece.
It was very Whovillian.
It was. It was. I loved it. I thought it was fun. It a little sexy android. She had a little frost around her lips because it's cold in space.
She had fun details with the makeup.
Yeah, they were subtle. It was cute. I'm like, it's a little, whenever anyone does those, like, sort of lightly, like a little red, like, I'm like,
hypothermia lips.
They're like a little hypothermia lips, a little bit like, are you diseased but sexy?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm like, that's saltine. It's like, diseased but sexy. Is that your disease? Achoo. Oh, folks, do you like our diseased but sexy? Tell me about your chronic illness. Madam Caliente says, Lady did amazing, love her runway, and she's going down as one of the best musical performances ever. Lady for the crown.
I think we would be remiss to not talk about the fact that we both felt that the queens themselves maybe got a different prompt for the runway than what was actually presented to us. Because we had a few queens mentioned, and like there was clearly like a space agey thing going on with a lot of these queens.
Space or like rocket,
right?
Or we had the word
galactic thrown around
multiple times.
So I think the queens maybe got a different worded prompt for these looks than what ended up being mirror mirror.
Because mirror mirror, you would expect reflective, yes, but I feel like you'd also expect more fairy tale vibes as well. Sure. You know, you would have expected an evil queen or an apple reference or even just like some sort of like weird apocalyptic Snow White ref. You know,
too many nods to space for mirror mirror to have been the prompt that they received.
Absolutely. Even Lady Camden was sort of like stardust, but also like ice. Like she was, you know. But her look I thought was gorgeous. I disagreed with Ross. I didn't mind the pants they had when I really saw like the blue jewels along the bottom. Like I thought it worked. I mean, the attention was on the headpiece. Yeah,
you don't want to do too much. You know, there is a too much line, right? You don't want to do too much on when you have something as elaborate as a headpiece like that. I'm trying to think if there's anything better I could see in the bottom, and I really don't. I think pants were the right choice, and I think they were well done. I like this look all around. I thought it was a solid look.
Yeah, solid look. But her rusical performance,
oh my goodness,
one of the best ever. I mean,
swept.
It was effortless, in a way, but at such a high level. And to do normally, if I see someone like killing it on the Drag Race stage, I want it to look like they are trying a bit, you know, like they're like
generally
pushing it, you know?
And that kind of gives the like camp value you're looking for with the Drag Race, is that trying effort.
But there was something about the way that she moved. I mean, we know what it was her training, but not only that, but her ability her mannerism, the characterization. I mean, it was excellent, not just for Drag Race, but I would be entertained by that anywhere I watched it.
I didn't really think about the whole effortlessness of it until you just brought it up, and that really is what was like, because it didn't feel like she was trying too hard.
No,
it was just delivered to us so it was
perfectly.
It was truly an incredible performance. I you know,
I mean,
no
delightful.
It was
so streamlined.
And that was, I mentioned a few times as we were watching it, how shocked I was that was a part that no one was like, I want this part.
I know! It was
part.
It was a big part.
It was the other main part.
It was around and then it wasn't. Like, you didn't really have to be in the group numbers. Like,
but she was always there.
But you're always there. And it's the weird part. Like, y'all! Sometimes when these girls look at these challenges, I'm like, do you not see the parts that are written to win?
Right.
You know, like, even now that they have, like, more equal parts across the board, you aren't going to win as a chorus girl.
No. Even if you slay,
Diabetes.
Yep.
You aren't going to win in that part.
No, because you're going to get blown overshadowed.
Unless the leads, well, like if the lead messes up,
sure.
then yes.
Sure.
But that's the only way. You have to both be excellent and hope some girl with a bigger part messes up.
Yeah.
That's the problem with a small part.
Absolutely.
You got to have the juice. Hello, Danny, Lady Camden, best well-rounded queen. Ooh, strong words. You love her. You want to marry her. Okay, so next up, Lady Camden for me is a supersize tonight. It was all correct. It was all drag. It was excellent. We love a mustached queen. 10s across the board.
Yeah, I know in the past I've had where I've talked about Lady Camden and having feelings about their runway and stuff, but Lady Camden has quickly wormed her way into my heart, and yeah, tonight was a supersize. That musical performance was excellent. Her runway wasn't like my favorite by any means, but it was a very solid runway.
Yeah.
Fit the prompt, whatever, whether it was Galactic or Mirror that they got, it fit the prompt, and yeah, supersize. For sure.
So next up we get Bosco, who is on the other side of this. Queen. Yep, your last queen. Also, Danny, we were not sleeping on Lady Camden last week. I still have the same opinion of her, but she was in her element this week. Critical damage times 20. So
you rolled a natty 20.
So okay, we get Bosco, her runway, sexy android. I felt very similar to the judges panel on this one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed her runway. I thought she looked good.
Yes.
It was a sexy look, but we've seen it several times before. It's kind of her signature.
1000%.
And like you can do that, but you got to look at Naomi Smalls, for example.
When I think of somebody with a signature look, I think Bianca Del Rio. Yeah.
It's got to be different enough. And when you're wearing 3 things, it's hard to make them that different.
I think tonight was the different enough, but it became too late, right? If that was mixed in the middle of it. I don't think this is an argument that it was still right. I don't think it's still too much, like too many times of the bra, corset, panty thing.
Yeah.
Right. I'm still arguing that. But like maybe if this look came before the habit look.
Madame Caliente.
But this arguably was the most dynamic of all the bra, panty, corset looks. But it's still, we've seen it all. So how good it was gets downplayed.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it.
It was pretty. It was cute. I liked it. But the saltine was it was thin and it was crisp.
Yeah.
And we're going to start with the signature eyebrow. You see Saltine, she is the ingenue. She is the young, she is the fresh-faced, she is the innocent. And that eyebrow is so harsh.
It is.
This was the time to give a dewy-faced, fresh take. Bosco, this was not the time, to give, that very, soft, feminine beauty.
Sure. I'm trying to remember, have we only seen the non-Bosco eyebrow once?
I don't know that we've ever seen it.
When did we see it? It was in the Supercuts episode. Bosco didn't give the Bosco eye. And I know this for a fact. That was, and because I remember we commented on it. We commented on it. And I'm like, did she also not do it in the Sarah McLachlan PSA kind of one? But I don't know.
I think she maybe did a softer version.
Yeah, no, but the only time definitively was that Supercuts time.
And there was something about her Saltine that was body but not camp.
No, I don't think Bosco knows how to give camp.
I don't think she does either. But it just felt like it was close to being something. In your words, she edged us. She edged us all night. It was so close to being what it needed to be, but it didn't have that extra little oomph to take it over the edge. It needed energy, and it was good for Bosco. It was certainly a step up for Bosco.
Sure.
But we've been feeling she's been a little sleepy all season.
Yeah, I think you could argue potentially, and this could have been judged as a safe performance. This was never a top performance.
No.
You
could
give
have been
it
safe.
You give it the bottom based on the fact that it was a lead role that you need to do more in. Bosco is a queen where I'm like, we're either not getting any more. There's going to be, we're going to realize, producers, whoever is doing this, right, are going to realize, oh, there is no more to give. And Bosco's gone. Or they're going to be like that, it finally clicks. Bosco is here. We see you now moment. We're going to get, it's going to go one of two ways with Bosco. We're getting set up for that.
I agree. And with the golden chocolate bar of it all, they are really betting hard on Bosco turning it around.
Yes.
You know, when
are.
You save a queen like that this late in the game, and we know that producers knew she had it, there is a reason behind it. They're not, I don't see them just throwing that out the window.
No. This wasn't random.
This was not random.
This was not random.
It was not random that it happened this week.
Random would have been it happening in episode 2 and then it just being a bunk thing, right? Like, random, no.
Random would have been Cornbread having it at the end of the season, being like, I ran away with my chocolate, yo!
Right. No. There's no way this was random. I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about Bosco. Obviously, at this point, Bosco is my only queen left. They're my only hope to ride on. But yeah, I feel like they have a lot of expectations for Bosco that I'm personally starting to feel at this point. This is it.
Yeah, I get that. I think that they are looking at Bosco right now as a really solid All-Stars contender.
Sure.
Needs a little bit more polish, but next week is a reading challenge, the Ross Matthews Roast. And Bosco won the reading challenge. So, like, I could see it. She might have a tough time in a lip sync for the crown, but Bosco's not a bad lip syncer, but she's never been in her element.
She's got to do her. I see Bosco as somebody that has to have the music they want, has to have the setup. As they mentioned multiple times, they're a burlesque performer, which is a different thing than just a drag lip syncer. It's different arts. I'm talking about.
I will say, Bosco is someone who I think needs to learn more flexibility, and not physical flexibility, but the type of flexibility where I think she has ideas about who she is as a performer and how she does things. And I think that that's going to open up for her more after Drag Race and sort of unlock this version of her that we want to see.
Absolutely.
That we see the potential.
I mean, there's queens all the time that I say, this is an all-star queen. Right? This is somebody like we're getting the best of them that we can get at this moment. Yes. But there's somebody that needs to marinate outside of the competition and then break through the shell, and we'll get the best of them during All Stars. And I kind of see that with Bosco.
A little bit.
I don't think this is their time.
Yeah. All in all, Bosco was a medium fry for me tonight. She's a medium,
Yeah, It's so tough because I think medium is correct. I don't disagree with them placing Bosco bottom, but I also felt that could have been a safe performance. But I understand the weight of it being a main performance, getting a bottom place. Yeah.
And that, for me also, this is what we've been saying about Bosco all season.
Yeah. It is.
Give us more, girl. Give us more.
Meh.
But next we move on to Willow Pill. She gave us the Joan Jett fireworks overalls on the runway.
Kind of David Bowie-esque.
So much fun, so cute. what I want to see from Willow, you know, and sort of what we're learning is Willow's aesthetic, where it sort of rides that line of fashion and referential and weird.
Yes.
And it's sort of all the things at once, and it's never super loud, you know?
No. No. There's always a nod to something.
Yes.
Willow.
It's with Willow, it feels more like wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, 100%.
Than look what I can do.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. It's like if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's Willow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Love her runway, and her musical was amazing. Should have been a double win. No.
No. Her musical was great.
Her musical,
we're not going to discredit that fact. But
was fun, but
Lady Camden swept the floor. Yeah.
Willow was solid.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that she was third of Lady Camden, Daya, Willow.
I agree with that.
I thought that Willow, and it could be because of her chronic illness, and this is not a read, she does not move her face as much as Daya Betty and Lady Camden.
This is the best I've seen of Willow in the animation, like being more animated. There is the tendency of the dead eyes, and like you mentioned, like we can't, know about how, her chronic illness affects her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this was one of my favorite lip sync situations for Willow. But you have to give the a little bit of weight.
She's still competing.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, personally, I'm like, I think she was good. I think she deserved a really solid performance.
Absolutely, she deserved a top spot.
She deserved a top
100%.
spot given the performances throughout the evening. Willow absolutely deserved to be there.
Yep.
But it was not a winning performance. Both of them were fun. She was a large fry for me tonight.
Oh yeah, she was a large fry. It was a winning performance, but Lady Camden was clear. You know what I mean? Like maybe another time it would be a winning performance, but Lady Camden was such a clear winner.
It was good. It was a solid good.
Okay. All right, we disagree on that.
We're gonna disagree on that one.
I mean, it was the most fun part.
We are ultimately rating it the same, so it's down to semantics.
Yeah, no, it is.
Because you're not going to give her a supersize.
No, I'm not. Willow had a very fun part, though. Like, we can agree on that.
She did have a fun part.
A very fun part.
And had she done it better,
that was a winning part.
That was a winning part. That was a winning part. And something we actually didn't talk about with Bosco. It's the same thing that happened to Estina Mandela. The part with the most lines, the ingenue character, there's not a lot to work with there.
They're rarely the part you want.
They're
in
written
Drag Race
to be boring, but relatable. The audience sees the experience through their eyes, so they have to be nondescript, It's freaking Kristen Stewart in Twilight.
I mean,
it's
just throughout all of Drag Race's skits and musicals and any kind of acting challenge, you don't want the lead part.
You don't want
the
lead.
You do not want the lead part.
It's not fun.
No, it's not the winning part.
No, and I think it's funny, though, that these challenges reflect so much, and Ru's tastes reflect so much of what we feel as queer people, attaching ourselves to weird, quirky side characters in some of our favorite films or TV shows, as opposed to necessarily the lead characters who are more relatable to like a straight culture. Yeah. I don't know.
Your mother darn socks in hell.
Your mother darn socks in hell. That being said, Willow did a great job. We are moving on to Angeria Paris Van Michaels.
Let's do it.
She was a galactic mermaid queen on the runway.
Is that what that was?
That's what she described it as. I wrote it down exactly as she described it.
Okay, good.
The nude illusion was a little weird for me. It was a little bad in the back. And her performance was solid in the challenge. I don't feel positively or negatively about it. Yeah. She did what needed to be done. Out of everyone on that stage tonight, I thought Angeria had the most safe written on her.
It was a very clear safe to me.
And not negative, not saying that in a negative connotation. No, Homegirl delivered a solid performance.
Yep,
it was good. It wasn't standout.
Yeah,
but I have no negative critiques of Angeria.
I mean, all those three girls. I mean, that's what we'll get into it later. I'll touch on it later. But like those three parts that Angeria, Georges, and Naya had. Oh, sorry, and Deja. We'll get into that one later. But those parts were so minimal. They had such little to work with, right? Those parts were not designed or set up to be winners or anything.
Not necessarily.
Those were safe parts.
Yeah.
Potential bottom parts.
Yeah.
Angeria managed to give the safe of that side.
Yeah. We sort of got the whole spectrum of like bad to excellent with those chorus girls.
Yeah.
And Angeria, I would say, was like the step down from Diabetes, where it was solid, it was safe, and then like down the gradient we get into like the negatives.
Yeah. And I'll quickly tap in. Did you give Angeria credit rating already?
Angeria is fading in the background. I think she's a great All-Stars contender. I disagree. I don't think she is. I thought she delivered it last week, and all of the other podcasts are also talking about how Angeria won that 3-woman lip sync.
Sure.
She really did. Like, Angeria is not fading for me. Angeria is still a top contender in my book. This week she was a medium plus, large minus for me. Nothing wrong with it.
I agree that I don't see Angeria fading, but I don't disagree with Angeria being a great all-star contender. I don't see Angeria winning.
I think she's in it.
She'll be there in the end. I don't see Angeria winning, but I could be wrong. I could be shocked. I guess there is a small part of me that could see it happening. So I guess what I'm saying is a wash. But anyways, Angeria's runway, didn't love it, didn't hate it. There was like moments that I felt like a little like I don't really get it, but it's fine.
It was
for me.
good.
It's fine.
It was camp. It was like something.
Yeah, Angeria was the definition of a medium fry for me today.
Great.
Just
you give her the same thing you gave Bosco?
Did I give Bosco a medium fry?
Yeah.
That feels correct. It feels correct in the fact that no, listen, I was going to rate Angeria's like musical performance on the same level as Bosco's performance.
I thought you did better than Bosco.
I thought Bosco had to do better because it was a main part. But like they gave the same to me. Well, that's why we're talking about it. And that's why we're allowed to have our own opinions. And I'm sure people are gonna hate on me for saying this.
Adrian thinks it's the Angie or Willow season. It was, I don't know. I thought Angeria definitely had an edge over Bosco, but whatever. Same amount of talent spread out over a longer period of time, I guess. Moving on to Diabetes. Yes. She had her Kiss-inspired look on the runway. And she did incredibly well in the role of Pink in that Lady Marmalade. What is Quartet? Quartet. The Lady Marmalade Quartet. I don't know the word for 4 lady singers. Like, what would you call that?
I'm surprised you don't know that. That's something I would 100% imagine to be in your lexicon.
Is there a word for
a quartet?
It is a quartet.
Yeah.
It's a quartet. I get weird with the Romance language root words, okay?
Okay, so we have,
there's like
a foursome.
There's like, single, duo, trio.
Quartet.
I feel like that's not, I know that is logically what should be there.
A foursome.
But that's also wrong. I feel like there should be a different word.
Then it becomes a girl group.
Whatever. Can we talk about Leland and Leslie Jordan being in the musical? Oh, we will get there.
Yeah, we will.
Loved them.
We have a lot to say today.
We do have a lot to say today. We're getting towards the end here. We've gotten through 4 queens. Look at us go. Yeah, let's talk about Leland and Leslie Jordan. I thought that Leland was Lance Bass at first.
He very similar.
He looks like a young Lance Bass.
Yeah.
I thought his voice was nice. I think that was him singing.
Yeah, we think so.
I love that. Could you imagine though, like if Lucian Piane was in the musicals? Like, I want to go back into an alternate reality where Lucian was also in the musicals with the girls. No. I want it. Bring back crazy Lucian. I want him to say insane things on television.
Crazy Lucian wasn't really ever on Drag Race.
No, and I want it. Lucian, baby, get back in the game. Cause chaos.
Lucian lost his shit post Drag Race.
Lucian is going to like murder Leland and be like, the part is mine.
I feel like we should not be talking about Lucian Piane with some of the things that man has said. I think we should just...
I don't even know the extent of what he said,
I don't
so please
either.
don't cancel me.
Things.
Lucian Piane is going to show up.
Let's not talk about him.
Show up and murder Leland.
Fear for my life.
This is gonna circulate. This clip is gonna circulate on Twitter when it happens, and I'm gonna be the new Hollywood psychic. Take that, Tyler Henry.
We're here to talk about Leslie Jordan and what's his face.
Yes, we are. We are, and let me just say that Leslie Jordan is potentially my favorite human being on the planet. I love Leslie Jordan. His nickname Sweet and Low when he was a young gay man on Fire Island.
His drag name Baby Wipes.
His drag name Baby Wipes? Like, she's sweet and petite.
Gem.
I'm obsessed with Leslie Jordan. It is one of my life's greatest regrets that I will never be his life partner. Because I love him. So sorry, Alec.
Bye.
I love Leslie Jordan that much. Oh,
fuck my drag.
Fuck your drag.
Bye, everyone.
Just leave. It's me and Leslie now.
No, I get it though.
Yeah, I know you do.
Finally, somebody shorter than me.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah, 4'11". I loved his moment with Georges where he was like, "You're not 4'11", and then he got up there and he's like, "Oh, he's like, you're 5, you're not 5'2". He's like, "Oh, you are 5'2". It was the first time we've seen someone on the show that Georges is taller than.
Right. That's why Leslie Jordan is an icon for me because it's somebody I'd be taller than too.
Yeah, you're almost a foot taller than it. No,
I'm taller than Georges too. Though,
you are taller than Georges. Yeah, you're a practical giant.
Inch and a half.
Yeah, you're a giant on this season of Drag Race.
Look at me.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, we love him.
We were talking about Leslie Jordan.
The fact that they were in the Rusical.
He was in the Rusical. His lip sync was on point. He reminded me of the Penguin in the most delightful way. I was obsessed. Madame Caliente found Leslie Jordan because of Will and Grace, one of your favorite shows ever. Also, shout out to Megan Mullally as Karen Walker. Excuse me. Karen Walker? Shut up. Shut up. I will never let this
We
down.
are going off the rails tonight, and I love it.
Yep. Choo-choo. Choo-choo, motherfuckers. Choo-choo. Leslie Jordan, a gem, an icon, a treasure. He did so well. He was such a delight when he waddled onto the stage. What more could we say?
You could just tell he was living his life.
He was living,
having
baby.
A good time.
Who said that line? I feel like it's season 2. I'm just living, honey.
This
oh my God, it was
Nicole Page?
No, it was Sahara Davenport.
R.I.P. That quote on top of it. Yikes. Whoa, that got heavy.
Diabetes.
Great segue.
Kiss-inspired, spiky look, obsessed. She killed it in the pink role in the Lady Quartet. The Hortet.
I love it.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
In the Lady Marmalade Hortet.
We love it. Yeah. I'll take that.
What'd you go for?
It's official.
It's official.
Write it in your books, everyone.
Webster's Dictionary. Pick up the phone. I loved it. I thought Diabetes did a great job. It was oozing personality. You know, like that's what we wanted to see in Saltine. Is like it's not even that she was doing extra. She was just doing the most. You know, she was using every single moment was character. There was energy.
But I hate to call it doing the most. Because when I think doing the most, I think of Jasmine Kennedy last episode during all those lip syncs. That's doing the most.
That's doing the most.
And that's not... that doesn't translate well.
It doesn't translate well.
Daya, the subtleties.
Yes. When I say doing the most, I didn't mean actually doing the most. Like the kids use it. It's like how I don't use yeet properly.
She really...
No, she used every single moment of what she was doing. That's what I meant, is that she was really fully living and encapsulating her interpretation of the character in every moment. You could read it in the way that everything she did, in the same way that Lady Camden did. Her face was fully engaged. Ladies, take note. I drooled because I felt so strongly about it. Daya's look was not only the best tonight for me, but one of her best looks she brought this season. I agree, Adrian. It was great.
100%. 100% agree.
If Daya got Saltine, her and Lady would have had a double win. We can never know, because that type of character is so far outside of Daya's bailiwick.
No, Daya knows her wheelhouse.
Yes.
She knows her wheelhouse. She knows to stick in the wheelhouse. And she knows, like, Daya has, like, you can see that glint in her eye. You can see that fire. She is fucking competitive.
But she parked on her character so quick. Yeah. Like, she knew what she wanted. Like, right out the gate, she's like, I don't want any of these parts. I want this chorus
this
part.
Is the one that fits me.
I can kill it here. It fit exactly. And, like, I feel like that's sort of how you have to approach these challenges, is what fits me the best? What can
100%.
I bring my 100% to? Not necessarily do I think this role specifically is going to win me a challenge.
Yeah, no. You have to pick what best suits you. And then from there, you turn that into a winning performance.
Absolutely.
It's all on you in the end.
Could not agree more.
It's
100%.
all on you. And Daya has that fire. We've seen it time and time again in these challenges. She really knows how to bring nuance to these small things. She gets it. She gets Drag Race.
She gets it. She gets Drag Race. Agreed. Large fry for me for Daya tonight. It was great.
Yeah. I'm gonna go supersized.
Really?
Yes. I mean, Kiss is big to me. My dad introduced me to Kiss. I really appreciate Kiss. So that look, and I've been waiting for a Kiss look on the runway for a minute. So it was
since last season.
No,
since Gottmik.
No, for a minute, because Kiss is drag in my eyes. So I was excited to see it, and also just being able to elevate a small choral performance like that to a top level, I think, in my eyes, earns a supersize.
Okay, good for you. Next up, we have my two remaining dream girls. We've got Deja Skye with that holographic cage dress and crown. And then sort of her dominatrix, a little Kim. Was it Lil Kim in Lady Marmalade?
Sure, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was Lil Kim.
I can't.
If it was not, am I totally wrong
incorrect
on this? Who's in Lady Marmalade? Oh my goodness!
Please help us out.
Help us out, viewers. Who was in? It was Lil Kim.
Okay, all right.
But she might have been more Maya than Lil Kim. I don't know. It was like this dominatrix look for the Lady Marmalade Quartet. And we thought that tonight was the night that they were going to read her for her performance, being kind of lackluster. Oh, Adrian liked her. Good in the musical. But her look was Michael's Craft Store debauchery boots. The look was not good. It gave me Ice King from Adventure Time a little bit, which is why I didn't hate it.
Yeah,
I didn't hate it because it gave me
that.
It was the crown. I think it pretty much relied on the crown.
Fair.
I didn't hate this look as much as you did, but her continued lackluster approach to these challenges, I think that they are. I don't know. I have this theory.
No, I like your theory. Please
I
present
think
it.
that they don't want to have this they can't have a top 5 without a big girl. Maybe a top 6. But I think they were expecting Cornbread to make it much further.
Yep.
But I'm like, you can't have 3 big girls start the competition and have them all gone in the first half of the competition. You just can't. It's not a good look for the show anymore. And this is an example of like, maybe she's getting by on that or there's something we're not seeing because it's just starting to feel a little weird. The critiques are feeling like
it really is
not necessarily what we're seeing.
I
liked Deja coming into this.
I think Deja seems like a lovely person.
Yeah, I want to hang out and watch hentai with her.
Deja seems like a really nice person.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as Drag Race goes, like every single performance, and I'm even counting the Snatch Game, I am shook. Like that, they obviously won Snatch Game because everyone else was fun. But it wasn't that good of a Snatch Game performance in my eyes. But that's neither here nor there. We're not talking about that.
Head and shoulders above everyone else.
Yeah.
Well, we're out with that.
Yeah. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Tonight, there was like a little moment there. I was like, okay, she's serving a little more than she was. But like from the get-go, she started out with this. She's like clearly this dominatrix character. Walking 2 men with leashes on there was nothing. I was like,
give me nasty girl, give me
something. I don't know. The energy, the vibe of like, I am this dom top walking these. I did not get that. Did not read it for me. And you know how much I hated this runway look. I don't know what it was.
This was one of Alec's least favorite looks of all time. He was like, I hope she gets hate crimed.
No! No!
I hope fans bully her for this.
Sam!
No, Alec would never say that.
No. I'm so upset right now. How could you? No.
The fans are laughing too.
I can't even talk anymore now.
She did good, amazing in the musical, but her look was so bad.
I really disliked this look.
Loved her look. Oh, loved her performance. Deja's been doing good on most of the challenges. Alec is about to get beat up. Alec, the fans are coming for you. You're canceled.
I really dislike this look. Never, ever send a queen or anyone in general hate. Okay? There is no excuse for that behavior. No one deserves that. But me personally really did not enjoy this look. But that doesn't mean that Deja doesn't seem like a lovely person.
Alec gives her a small fry with cyanide.
I'm leaving.
Can I get some small fries with a side of napalm?
Can I leave?
Deja's so lackluster. She's boring. The looks always suck. Go home, Deja. Okay, that's a lot, Danny.
Yeah, Danny's hardcore.
That's hardcore. I don't hate her that much. I think that there's a little rigor mortis going on. Yeah. You need to tweet this clip to Deja Skye.
No!
We love her. She's our dream girl.
Sam, I'm so upset with you tonight.
Oh my god.
How could you do this to me?
No, obviously we love all of the queens. We believe in sending love to everyone here on the Couch Potato Queen podcast. We would never support anything like that. That being said, what do you give Deja Skye tonight, Alec?
A small fry.
A small fry!
A small fry.
He gives a small fry. I give her like a, I don't know. For me, it's like a medium minus, medium minois. Because she wasn't terrible, but she wasn't great. It was still lackluster. I didn't love the look, but like her performance wasn't, I don't feel, well, it's like small plus. It's small plus medium minus. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Sorry, Deja girl. Finally, we get Georges on the runway. She had a very bulky metallic cage dress. And here's the thing, like, I felt that this dress was wearing her, it was too bulky for her. When it moved weird, when she spread her legs.
Yeah, you hear that thrown around a lot, and this is an instance where I agree with that, but I think I just didn't like the look, like, beyond it, like, feeling like it wore her. I don't think I would like this look on anyone.
But I think when I feel like a look wears a queen, I feel like it doesn't suit their body.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No. Yeah, just me personally, like, that's, when I say that, I'm like, that's a look I would like on somebody else. Like, I might like the look, but it feels like
it's also a confidence factor.
I don't think I liked Georges' look at all. Period. In general. Yeah.
See, I did kind of like it, but I think it would. I feel like I would have liked it on, I don't know, maybe someone taller. It was bulky, but I was intrigued by the fact that there were sort of these like shapes going on. But she was dead in the face during the musical. Good runway. Glad it was not a brawn panty. And I would not say she murdered Bosco in the lip sync, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Georges' performance for me in the musical was unsurprising.
No.
She hates music theater. We were not expecting this to go great. She delivered solid choreography and not a lot of animation in the face.
Nope.
This is what we've seen from Georges.
Dead eyes.
Yeah. It was a medium for me, like medium minus. Like, it wasn't terrible. But it was, like, she delivered. It just wasn't. There wasn't an acting element. There wasn't a characterization. And that lip sync had so much, like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Like, they give these real character actresses these singing parts. Like, there is stuff to dig into.
It was a small part. Georges gets a small fry for me. Blah. Throwing that out there.
Okay.
But, no, the musical part was a very small part. When you have a small part like that, you have to like overdo it.
Gigan in the musical.
Yeah, you have to overdo the little bit you have to really stick in somebody's eyes. And like, dead in the eyes. And I didn't like the look.
Yeah.
It's a small fry.
Yeah.
Bottom was deserved.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
Then we get to the moment we wait for every season. All of the queens are asked who should go home tonight. Now, there wasn't a why attached to it.
No, there wasn't a why.
Some of them sort of gave one. Bosco says Bosco's the only queen who says Georges. All of the other queens say Bosco.
Yeah.
Georges is at the end of the line, and when it's her turn, she's like, Bosco. She was in the bottom 3 times in one episode. I clutched my pearls.
We love it.
I gasped for air. It was like, finally,
we love it.
Drama. Like, give us something. And then Lady Camden and Bosco were both like, it's the game. Like, I like,
I appreciate a queen who, after the fact, like, doesn't get super upset about somebody saying their name just because it's like, we know this, we've seen it coming.
I wanted to see a breakdown.
But I love a queen like Georges who, like, is like, let me tell you why I'm saying this, queen. I live for that. Like, please go off. Tell me all the reasons why you picked that queen. But I was shocked that, like, it was universally Bosco. Like, I don't disagree with people saying that, but, like, of the two that were the obvious bottoms tonight, I agree with Bosco. I'm like, well, Georges has been here before. Like, usually everyone picks the girl that's, like, been in the bottom more. Bosco...
But I think it's because
it's weird.
Bosco put a target on herself, though, by saying, like,
that's true.
With
that's
how
true.
hard she fought for that part. Like, it was, Bosco needed to essentially win the challenge.
She did.
Or she was going to be in the bottom.
She needed a winner, me in the top.
Yeah. But I don't even see a world in which I think Bosco truly needed to be good enough to win.
Right.
Or she would be in the bottom.
Right. So she needed a winner be in the top.
No, but I'm not even saying she needed to be top 3. I don't think there's a world where Bosco was good enough to be top 3 in that role that she didn't win. is what I'm saying. Is I'm like, I think for the expectations for a part like that,
sure,
the expectation is that you win or you are in the bottom.
You're in the bottom. Yeah. No, yeah, that's true.
It's one or the other for a big part like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, unless the other people who are, you know, also have the main parts are also doing well. But
wish we would have gotten a wild card person. I love when there's a person that just throws out the name no one else is saying in those situations.
I do too. I feel like we would have gotten that from Jasmine Kennedy.
Yeah, Jasmine would have said Daya. Jasmine would have said Daya.
It would have been great. I miss Jasmine.
And Jasmine would have went off on a tangent.
Yeah. I would have she would have been talking. Everyone would have been like, oh
my girl. Yeah. Yeah, we needed Jasmine in that moment.
The world needs Jasmine. The hero we need but don't deserve.
All around this episode. Jasmine would have maybe gotten drama great. To happen, pop off, because she would have been poking and like
yeah. George just dragged that bitch. Lip sync was very good, but George just commanded the stage. Bosco did not stand a chance, but I hated that they chose the remix to one of my favorite songs. I'm not super familiar with the original Whitney song. We've always talked about it. Whitney remixes are the great equalizer because it is a dance song and it is a Whitney
It's
song.
Always Whitney.
You can't get rid of the Whitney of it all.
Yeah, there's the beat to dance along with, but it's still Whitney.
Yes, and we saw that in their approaches where George just gave a very standard dance sort of performance, House Down Boots, where Bosco went for the more emotional into more of like a dancing sort of deal.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the winner was obvious.
I don't either.
I thought Bosco served emotion. She cried a little bit, it looked like.
Yeah.
I thought that Bosco served it up. I don't think that the Georges win was undeserved, but it was also, I think, sort of the last time that they could expose that candy bar.
Yeah.
It was the end of the road for the candy bar. Yeah. We can't be waiting on another queen in the top 5, part 2 of the sequel. It was devastating with TKB. You know, like it just, it has to be at an appropriate point where it still makes sense for the person who comes back to like have a shot at the finals or who is saved, to really have a shot at the finals. And it was a fun moment. It was the biggest fake scream that RuPaul has ever given.
It was fun. It was
fun. It was
even though
everyone was excited.
I mentioned it and we both were like, yeah, this is probably happening tonight. It was still fun.
Speaking of Jasmine, could you imagine that week? Last week they say if Jasmine and Bosco still gets the golden bar, we would still be a top 8.
Yeah.
But what if we lived in that world? I wanted to see what that world was like.
I want to live in that world since those are both my girls. Can I live in that world?
But that's the thing is that we know that production knew that Bosco had the gold bar. We knew that they were going to send Jasmine home the minute that she lost that first lip sync to Diabetes. It was Jasmine's week to go. Production's going to do what they're going to do.
Yes, they are.
Riggory Morris, production literally chose who got the golden bar. Yeah.
Of course.
Of course they did, though. This is television. This is reality television. Like, this is why they win the Emmys, is for rigging the season, y'all. Like,
story.
It's for the story. And they're going to pull as much as they can out of these queens. But yeah, so ultimately, Daya is safe. Willow is safe. Lady Camden wins. Deja gets the safe pull from the bottom 3. Bosco versus Georges. Heartbreak Hotel, Whitney Houston. Game, set, match, y'all. We are on another week with no one eliminated.
We're still here.
But you know what? The rusical deserved it. The lip sync deserved it.
Great rusical.
It was a great rusical. It was a great final lip sync.
It was a good lip sync. You had the 2 different styles, but both very much
very
serving
strong.
And performing.
We need to do the math. There are 16 episodes this season. 4 months of Drag Race, y'all. 4 months of Drag Pod.
That's insanity.
I know, right? It's been fun.
I'm gonna start growing my beard and see how long it gets before this season ends.
You should.
You would hate that.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would.
You should go for it.
No.
Okay, so breast in show. Who do you think is positioning themselves as the top contender right now? For me, do you have something in mind?
No, you please start.
For me, I think it's still Willow Pill. She's talking about being in the top all the time and never winning. But like, sorry, girl, if you're always floating in the top 3, like, you are a front runner.
Yeah.
You know, they see you as such. You have a few wins under your belt when you were the best. I think in tonight's performance, I think also really cemented that Willow doesn't really have any like super weak categories.
No.
Outside of lip syncing, which she did very well tonight. Mm-hmm. So I give it to Willow. Who's your Breston show?
I 100% agree with everything you're saying. I think Willow is the only queen I can say is clear cut up like top 3 queen. Mm-hmm. There's a few other queens I can throw around for that spot, but Willow is like for me solidified in that moment. But like Breston show we're talking about
tonight, for this episode, I mean, you could.
Yeah, I'm like really feeling Lady Camden because I'm like I feel like she's starting to make the argument to potentially be in that top 3. Like I could see that happening.
Yeah, which forward. We've never really seen her making it all the way.
We've seen moments where they've started to push Lady Camden more, and I'm like, I feel like they are pushing her to potentially be a top 3.
I feel like the storylines we're getting right now, we're getting a Camden, Diabetes, Willow Pill, Angeria top 4.
Deja, you can't forget Deja.
I think we're gonna lose Deja. She's been hanging around towards the bottom lately. Outside of Snatch Game, she's been hanging around towards the bottom. And I think they're going to ditch Georges. There's no way Georges
they're ditching Georges.
Like, Georges is at what? 4 or 5 lip syncs now? Georges. Outside of the lip sync?
It's so...
No one makes it through
It's honestly incredible. The only one I'm, like, for sure about that's not going to be there is Georges. Everyone else, and, like, guaranteed.
But
like
she could! Who knows?
Right. No, it's hard. The only one that I am for sure about is top 3 is Willow.
Yeah.
Everyone else, I have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
But yes, absolutely, Adrian. It was a great redemption from the Snatch Game with a really killer rusical.
Yeah.
But we got a roast next week. Let's see if they can bring it. I agree. I am excited to see it. Lady Camden's gonna win. She can lip sync almost any genre, and she can beat almost everybody left in a lip sync. Potentially, maybe not. It depends what the judges are feeling in the song. Who's our dark horse, our black horse right now, per Jocelyn Fox? I guess Camden. Lady Camden is the black horse of the moment. She's the surprise that I was not featuring her, and now we kind of have to.
Yeah, I mean, that is the solid choice as somebody I didn't expect. But I'm going to say Bosco just on the fact that they gave her the golden bar.
Yeah.
She was somebody early on that I was like, oh yeah, she's kind of a clear-cut top. Mm-hmm. But like as we've seen the show go on, I'm like, not so much. But now I'm like, yes, she's kind of a black horse. The fact that the golden bar
that they're investing
right,
in her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's literally on that.
And then finally we have our season 14 Snatch Game Hot Mess Express Award. Who was the messy queen of the episode? For me, it was, who was it for me? For me, it was RuPaul's fake ass. When the golden bar happened, we were waiting for it, and it finally happened. But there was also, what was the thing you pointed out to me that you're like, you hate that? Oh no, it was not RuPaul's glasses. Never mind. Alec thought it would be RuPaul's glasses for me, but it was not. I hate transition lenses, not tinted lenses.
Yes.
Don't wear transition lenses, kids. They're tacky and I hate them. Bosco was the Hot Mess Express from Madame Caliente.
I think my Hot Mess Express, but I loved it, was Georges was really trying to start some shit tonight. A few different times. So I'm going to give it to Georges.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Y'all, that is our show for this evening. Please remember to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Sam Meyer Comedy. Alec has nothing to plug.
If you love me, maybe one day I'll give you my Instagram. Who knows?
Demand it in the comments for this video.
Maybe.
Follow the Couch Potato Queens on Twitter at Couch Potato Queens. That's QWNZ. Instagram at Couch Potato Queens spelled normally. Subscribe to our channel. Like this video. Y'all know the zhuzh. We love you. Do not let anyone dull your sparkle. Special angels. We will see you next week. Goodbye.